There's a kind of strength that doesn't announce itself. It doesn't come from loud footsteps or lifting heavy things. It shows up quietly, in the way you rise from a chair without thinking, in the way you remember a story from 40 years ago as clearly as yesterday, in the way you keep going, gently, even when no one's watching. If you are between 68 and 78 and you still do these 10 things, you may be carrying a far deeper strength than you realize. Not the kind of strength that fades with time, but the kind that deepens. We often think aging means decline. But what if aging, done with intention, reveals your finest version? What if you're not winding down, but rising into the most refined, wise, and powerful chapter of your life? Today, we explore 10 subtle but extraordinary things. And if you're still doing them, you are not only aging well, you are living with grace, clarity, and the quiet momentum could carry you elegantly past 100. Stay with me until the end, because the final item on this list is the spark that will inspire you to keep climbing. Trust me, it has the quiet power not only to extend your life, but to deepen its meaning, enrich its joy, and elevate its grace. Before we begin, if you haven't already subscribed, I warmly invite you to do so. And don't forget to tap the bell so you never miss a moment of inspiration. If this video resonates with you, please share your thoughts in the comments. And if it doesn't, simply type 0. Your feedback helps me create something even more meaningful for you next time. Now, let's begin. 1. You greet each day with intention, not routine. Not everyone wakes up with a why. Some rise from bed only because the sun came up. But if you still greet the day, not just wake into it, you are already living differently. Maybe it's your morning walk, a journal entry, feeding the birds, lighting incense, saying a prayer. These are not just habits. They are rituals, proof that you believe the day is still worth preparing for. Meet Eleanor, 74. Every morning at 6:30, she brews coffee, sits by her window, and writes a single sentence. Today, I am here again. That is enough. She doesn't write to be remembered. She writes to remember herself. That simple act, choosing to begin the day rather than let it happen to her, has kept her soul alert. Her doctor says her heart is strong, but her daughter says it's her spirit that's stronger. Longevity isn't just about what the body can do. It's about what the soul still looks forward to. Starting your day with intention nourishes your sense of purpose. Studies in geriatric psychology confirm that seniors who maintain a meaningful morning ritual have lower rates of depression and cognitive decline. Purpose isn't a grand mission. It can be as quiet as a cup of tea held with reverence. Begin your day with something sacred, no matter how small. The first thing you do should say, I'm still in control. I still care. Even if it's as simple as watering a plant or reading a psalm, let it ground you. 2. You still walk with purpose, not just movement. There's a difference between moving and walking with purpose. One is survival. The other is intention. Fast walkers aren't just healthy, they're hopeful. They walk like they're going somewhere, even if it's just to the corner shop. Think of Harold, 76. Every morning, he walks 20 minutes to buy his newspaper. He could get it delivered. But he says, if my legs still carry me to the world, then I'll let them. Walking speed has been linked to heart health, brain sharpness, and mortality risk. But here's the deeper truth. Your pace reflects your posture toward life. Slow down too much, and life seems to slow down with you. Keep moving forward, and the world continues to open. In a 2022 meta-analysis of aging populations across Europe and East Asia, researchers found that individuals with brisk walking speeds had a 35% lower risk of all-cause mortality. The act of walking activates the hippocampus, the brain region critical for memory and emotion. Choose one daily walk where your posture, pace, and breath are aligned. Even 10 minutes of strong, focused walking can act as a reset button for your body and spirit. Walk as if life is still calling you somewhere. 3. You still rise from the floor. Without fear. To stand up from the ground is more than a physical test. It's a symbol of resilience. The floor is where we play with grandchildren, where we drop keys and find them, where we fall and either fear it or face it. Joseph, 78, hadn't sat on the floor in years. One day, his grandson asked him to build a Lego castle. Joseph hesitated, not because he didn't want to, but because he feared he couldn't get back up. That night, he began practicing. Knees, core, balance. 3 weeks later, he was on the floor again, not just present, but proud. Getting up from the floor is a full-body symphony. Legs, arms, core, coordination. But more than that, it shows you're not afraid to lower yourself because you trust you can rise. Brazilian studies have shown that individuals who can sit and rise from the floor without using their hands or arms have significantly lower mortality rates. It indicates strength, mobility, and confidence in one's own body. A trifecta for longevity. Test yourself weekly. Can you sit down on the floor and stand without assistance? If not, don't fear it. Practice it. Reclaim it. Every regained inch of mobility is an act of liberation. 4. Your hands still do things that matter. Hands remember everything. They've held babies, wiped tears, written letters, chopped onions, turned pages, signed documents, planted seeds. If your hands are still strong, you are not just physically capable, you are still connected to the world. Grip strength is one of the clearest predictors of mortality. But here's the more poetic truth. If you're still reaching out, still holding on, still creating, your hands are not just alive, they're awake. Martha, 73, makes bread every Thursday. Not because she has to, but because her hands remember the rhythm. Flour, water, patience. Her grandchildren say, "Grandma's bread smells like love." Neuroscientists have linked hand activity, especially tactile and creative tasks, to increased neuroplasticity. The more your fingers engage with the material world, the more your brain stays flexible and alert. Practice hand strength through real-life action. Write a postcard, knit, lift light weights, or knead dough. Your hands carry your history. Keep them expressive. 5. You still sleep deeply and wake with clarity. Sleep in our later years becomes more than rest. It becomes a mirror, a reflection of your inner peace, your bodily rhythm, and your unspoken worries. If you still wake up refreshed, without dread, without confusion, you are carrying something priceless. Harmony between your body and your mind. Roger, 75, used to wake up 5 times a night. He blamed age. But after changing his habits, no screens after dinner, a warm shower, a quiet room, his sleep began to soften again. His mornings, lighter, brighter, sharper. And every morning now, he smiles when he wakes. Because a clear morning mind is one of the deepest signs that your body still believes in life. Quality sleep improves immune function, cellular repair, and emotional resilience. Seniors who consistently report restorative sleep show stronger cardiovascular health and slower cognitive aging. Guard your sleep like treasure. Keep a steady bedtime. Create a peaceful evening ritual. Protect the silence. Because how you wake up determines how you move through the day and through the years. 6. You still remember names, stories, and songs. Memory is not a test, it's a tapestry. And if you can still recall the name of a friend, the smell of your grandmother's kitchen, the lyrics to a song from 1962, then your mind is not fading. It's maturing. Paul, 79, keeps a small notepad with him, not because he forgets, but because he collects quotes, names, strange dreams. He says, "My memory isn't leaving. It's just choosing what to keep." That's wisdom. Memory isn't just facts. It's meaningful recall. It tells us what we've held close and what we've let go. Engaging memory through storytelling, writing, and conversation has been shown to reduce the risk of dementia by over 30%. Memory, when used actively, becomes a creative rather than reactive tool. Train your memory like a garden. Read new things, recite old stories, write them down, sing, laugh, play word games. Let your mind dance, and it will stay on its feet. If you are still watching this video and think these insights are very valuable, please leave a comment below and share your story. We read every piece of information carefully. This is the motivation for us to keep moving forward. If you haven't subscribed yet, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the ringtone. This way, you won't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue to create meaningful content. Now, let's move forward. 7. You still climb. Steps, hills, and challenges. Stairs aren't just obstacles. They are invitations to rise, to resist the urge to retreat, to remember that every step upward is a testament to your vitality. If you can still climb a flight of stairs, even slowly, you're telling the world something powerful. I haven't stopped ascending. George, 73, lives in a modest apartment on the second floor. The elevator broke last year, and he didn't complain. Instead, he smiled and said, "Good. That means I'll get stronger whether I like it or not." Each day, groceries in hand, he makes his climb. It's his ritual of resistance. Climbing tests everything: lungs, heart, legs, focus. But it also awakens something deeper, a willingness to face what's difficult without backing down. It's a quiet rebellion against inertia, and every step becomes a renewal of strength and determination. To climb is to affirm life with effort. It's not about speed, it's about spirit. You may climb slowly, pausing to breathe, but each pause is a breath of gratitude, and each rise is a whisper of resilience. To climb is to say, "I'm still trying." And trying is life's most underrated form of courage. Embrace elevation. Literally, take the stairs when you can. Walk uphill, even if slowly. These vertical acts train your heart, stimulate your lungs, and preserve your independence. Rise deliberately and rise often. Let your steps be small declarations of vitality. 8. You still speak with warmth and listen with grace. In a time when speed often outruns meaning, slowing down to listen is a sacred act. If you still speak with kindness and listen without rushing to reply, you are doing more than communicating. You are connecting, deeply, humanly. Elena, 76, spends her Thursday afternoons at a local community center. She isn't there to lecture or advise. She listens. And when people talk, she leans in, not just with ears, but with presence. Sometimes, she says, people just need someone to hold their words. To speak with warmth is to offer light. To listen with grace is to offer shelter. This kind of interaction is rare, but when you offer it, you become a living balm in a noisy, fractured world. Studies show that strong social connections reduce risk of chronic illness, improve immune function, and prolong life. But science aside, we all know this. Being heard can heal. To age well is to remain emotionally open and open-hearted. Engage in one meaningful conversation each day. Ask deeper questions. Look someone in the eye. Reflect back what you've heard. Be a mirror for someone else's truth. It keeps your own soul polished. Human warmth is not diminished by age. It is refined. 9. You still feel joy in the smallest things. Joy doesn't announce itself with trumpets. It tiptoes in, often disguised as ordinary moments. If the scent of morning coffee still warms your heart, if the sight of a blooming flower makes you pause, if you laugh at the same old story every time, then you are not just surviving. You are fully, truly living. Margot, 71, has a tradition. Every Thursday she buys a fresh croissant and eats it under a jacaranda tree in her neighborhood park. Rain or shine. That 20-minute ritual, she says, is proof that I'm still here, still part of the beauty. Joy in small things is not childish, it is spiritual maturity. It shows you still respond to life, still open your heart to its softest offerings. Neuroscience backs it up. Micro moments of joy release endorphins, lower cortisol, and enhance emotional resilience. But beyond science, it's your soul that smiles. Noticing beauty is a spiritual practice, and continuing to feel it is your superpower. Curate your joy. Set aside time daily, even 5 minutes, to savor something, a sound, a flavor, a memory. Gratitude amplifies longevity. Beauty deepens it. Let joy be your quiet act of defiance against despair. 10. You still see the future, even in fragments. This last one is the rarest and the most sacred. If you still imagine the future, still make plans, still plant seeds, you are doing more than aging. You are dreaming, and dreaming is how the soul breathes. Raymond, 78, just started using digital art software. He's not trying to be great, he's trying to feel new. Every time I draw, he says, I remember what it's like to not know what's coming. And to be excited about that, hope is not a trait. It is a skill, a habit, a gentle defiance. When you imagine tomorrow, you tell today, you haven't beaten me. Having a future orientation, even in small doses, boosts dopamine, stabilizes mood, and enhances cognitive function. But here's the deeper meaning. When you believe there is still something ahead of you, you live more fully in the now. When you still believe in what's next, you're not declining, you're still becoming. Write down one thing you're looking forward to. Plan for it. Speak of it. Prepare for it with joy. The future doesn't need to be grand. It just needs to be alive in your mind. Age is not the enemy of dreams. It is the soil in which your most meaningful ones can finally bloom. So here you are, 68 or 73 or 77. If you still rise with care, walk with purpose, speak with warmth, rest with peace, and dream with wonder, then age is not your limitation, it's your unveiling. You are not getting old, you are becoming more whole. Don't measure yourself by what you've lost. Measure yourself by what you still reach for. And if this video has reminded you of your own quiet power, your elegant strength, and your unshakable potential, then hold on to that. Because the world doesn't just need your years, it needs your presence. And if you're still here, really here, then the most beautiful parts of your life might still be unfolding. Now, take a breath. Think about these 10 signs, not as checkboxes, but as brushstrokes, each one adding texture, warmth, and soul to the painting that is your life. If you're still doing even half of these, you're not aging out. You're aging into something extraordinary. You are not a vessel being emptied by time. You are a lantern, glowing from everything you've lived, endured, lost, loved, and learned. So keep walking, keep climbing, keep laughing, keep dreaming. And if anyone tells you it's too late to begin again, you tell them this: I'm not counting down, I'm rising up. If this message spoke to you, share it. Let others know that aging isn't a closing chapter. It's the refinement of everything beautiful. Leave a comment. Which of the 10 signs resonated with you most? What's one small joy, habit, or dream you're still holding on to? And if you found peace, hope, or strength in this video, please like, subscribe, and share. Your support allows us to keep creating content that honors this remarkable journey we're all walking. Remember, take care of yourself. You are worth being cared for. Thank you for being here. We'll see you again soon.